Notre Dame is in the college football playoff bracket, earning that 7th seed, the right to host Indiana. We were hoping for this matchup, guys, and we officially got it. Let's take a look at where this kind of lands in the bracket. I think our friend Josh Pate was calling these regions, but this is why Notre Dame earned a spot in this college football playoff. That win-loss record, 11-1. And here is where they land in the bracket for the right to face number 2 Georgia in the Sugar Bowl. We have broken down this bracket from so many angles, but I want to zero in on this Notre Dame team. Obviously, been a bit of a difference from what happened in that second game of the season to Northern Illinois. What has this Notre Dame team done to prove that they deserve a spot in this playoff since then?
Well, I'll say this immediately. This has been the best coaching job by Marcus Freeman and his staff since they've been there. Getting them to regroup and refocus after a debilitating loss in week 2, as you said, something that could have really just changed the makeup of the team and their demeanor. And what did they do? They instead came out and just started beating the crud out of everybody, blowing people out. They were refocused. And for the first time in a long time I can remember, no one was talking about Notre Dame. They've kind of flew under the national radar all season. Everybody's going, well, their schedule's so easy. They're just going to cruise in, and then we'll find out when they go to USC on the road at the end of the season. So everybody just wasn't really paying attention. But meanwhile, Notre Dame, I would argue, is playing about as good as anybody, including Oregon, at this point in the season. And the big thing for them is getting to host Indiana, because right now Notre Dame, they went across country to USC, and I thought, you know, maybe this could be an upset for them. Maybe something could happen here. But, man, I love the grit.
I think somebody that
would
agree with you on them playing their best football right now is the head coach of Notre Dame, Marcus Freeman, joining us on the show. Coach, if you think back to week 2, unless you try and remove that from your memory, I mean, most of the country wrote you off from there, but your team responded. What are you most proud of this season?
I think there are some things that you learned from that loss that has truly helped us as we've gone through on this journey this season. But, you know, I'm most proud of them to be able to stay focused and really focus on the opportunity at hand. And this team has constantly strived to improve each week. Obviously, we didn't get the outcome we wanted week 2, but I truly believe this team has continuously gotten better and been able to block out the noise, no matter what that noise may have been. It could have been after a loss to Northern Illinois, or as you get closer to the end of the season, you know the playoffs are approaching. So really proud of the leadership and the ability to just focus on the things that matter.
I think we get caught up so much in just, you know, the roster makeup, and if you have a talented roster, it should just work, right? But you guys bring in Riley Leonard. He's coming off a surgery where he missed some time in the offseason. What about the opportunity for teams to improve? That's what I look at you guys. And you guys had injuries to both left tackles, losing that before the A&M game. You had defensive injuries throughout the season. How much has your team improved, and how much different are they from week 1 almost, even more than the Northern Illinois game, to where they are now?
Yeah, I think that depth is so important. As you've said, we've had multiple game-ending injuries or season-ending injuries, and you know, the team is really had a next man up mentality, and that is credit to the depth and the guys we brought in here over the past few years in terms of recruiting. But we have improved, and we have truly improved from week 1 to week 12. And I think what happened week 1 is that maybe the outcome kind of clouded some of the mistakes that we made. We weren't as good of a team that we needed to be, or maybe we thought we were. And, you know, week 2 it showed. And so, but we constantly improved. The players and the coaches were very intentional on doing the things that it takes to be the best version of ourselves. And here we are, we sit at 11-1.
You know, Coach, Riley Leonard to me is just a gamer. We saw it at Texas A&M earlier in the season. What do you think he's grown the most here throughout this winning streak you've been on?
Yeah, I think it's complete opposite of what you said, right? To become a gamer, you got to prepare the right way. And what I've seen him do is from week 1 to week 2, understand the highs and lows of being the quarterback at Notre Dame and what all that entails being that person. But he's prepared, and he has really stepped up his leadership in the way he's met with our offensive coordinator to make sure they're on the same page. The natural growing pains you have in the first year of a new offensive coordinator, a new quarterback, but he's definitely has been more intentional about doing the things that it takes to be a gamer and have success on Saturdays.
Coach, one of my favorite things about the expanded playoff was getting home playoff games, and we're going to have one of maybe the most historic venue in the sport there in South Bend, in a matchup with an in-state team against Indiana. Just your thoughts about what the atmosphere is going to be like, and then the matchup itself.
Yeah, to be a part of the first playoff game at Notre Dame Stadium is going to be something special. We know the atmosphere is going to be crazy. You didn't know who the opponent was going to be, so could the weather be a home field advantage? It's probably not now that you're playing an in-state team, but again, the atmosphere will be an advantage. The crowd, the comfortability that we have playing in our stadium, it's special, and we are looking forward to this opportunity.
We are looking forward to watching it. Coach, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
All right, thank you guys.